All right, we are back, and the audio should be good, but I'm going to double check it just in case. Let me see. My toast. Let me see. Mic check. Yo. All right, what's up, everybody? Thank you for that. I appreciate you. It wasn't your fault. It was my fault. I was supposed to check my sound. I usually don't have to do that, but today. So I'm going to give you the half hour that I was supposed to give you. We have been on for 28 minutes, so we got another 28 minutes to go. So thank you for telling me about the sound. Sometimes my computer just wants to do things on its own. So what happened was my internal sound was up to 80. So it could have been worse than that, but I'm just like a sound snob. And so when I'm like, how can y'all listen to a show like that? That would have been the first thing I said, would have been like, dude, your sound is bad. So my computer sound was at 80. I usually keep it at 69, somewhere around there. And that's what that was. So anyway, thank you guys. Appreciate you. It wasn't your fault. It was definitely not you. It was me. So we are back to the show, and we're going to finish up with the last half hour. There's a few more things, but what I was saying, and I want to do this. That means, and the reason I cut it off is because everything, I hate bad sound. It's horrendous. Nobody's going to watch a show with bad sound. It's the number one turn off of, like, I'm going to be real. Okay. You know who has one of the worst sounds in the business? Woodward Sports. I know how to fix their sound. They don't. And it bothers me, but I don't watch their show. But sometimes I'll click on a video to see what they're talking about. And the first thing you hear is, car. So I'm like, you can hear every single thing in the room, and you shouldn't be able to do that. But anyway, so I'm a sound snob, like, for real. So I was just like, how could they not tell me that my sound sucked? Because it's a pain. Okay, so we left off. And I want to do this segment. I got 3 segments I want to do, and I want to do this one. So what we were talking about before was Danielle Hunter versus Chase Young versus Montez Sweat. And I was saying to you guys, and I didn't get to see your comments because of the bad sound, but I was watching Ross Tucker, the Ross Tucker podcast. Everybody's getting into the podcast game. And the long story short is, he said that Danielle Hunter is their most valuable asset, and they could try to move on from him. But the negative with him is he's going to require some money and higher capital than, say, a Chase Young or a Montez Sweat. So basically, if you had to choose between the 3, I think Montez Sweat is kind of a name that hasn't been in rotation as far as the trade rumors. Would you take a Montez Sweat, a Chase Young, or a Danielle Hunter? Yes, we are back. The sound was terrible, so I'm going to delete that stream. Braylon says, I'm going Chase Young. Okay, I know Danielle has 7 sacks right now. So to me, the pros and the cons. Chase Young, to me, is not injury prone. Now, I'm going to keep saying this until you have 13 days or so. You have 13 days. So you have over 300 hours of me talking about the trade deadline and how I think the Detroit Lions are going to make that move that shows the NFL world that we are here. I think it's probably going to be an expiring contract. My thought is that Brad Holmes is not going to do a 1-year rental. He's going to want to sign this guy. And we got the gift, the pros and the cons to basically, I haven't really done enough research on Montez Sweat. I know in 2019 or whatever it was that he came out, he was the talk of the town as far as why not to take him. And he's been performing at a high level ever since. So I really think, like, the move will be the D-line, and it's probably going to be I would be surprised if it's DT. Okay, Wynn says Young. Derek says I take Young. I think will be active, but I don't think it will be a big name like everyone thinks. Okay, Gibbs. Well, what would you call a big name? Because for me, so it's Chase Young, Danielle Hunter. Are those big names? I'm just asking. What do you think? And I've thought about that too. Like, we could get there'll be a guy that pops up that nobody was on nobody's radar, and he pops up, and it's like, oh wow, we went after that guy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if Chase Young is a big name. Okay, Chase Young, not so much is a big name like a Danielle Hunter. Okay, and that's crazy to me because not what you're saying is crazy, but how people talk about how people is old, right? Danielle Hunter will be 29 years old in about a week and a half. Literally 2 days before the trade deadline, he turns 29. And he's producing probably better than Brian Burns and Chase Young, separate, of course. He has 7 sacks on the season last time I counted. And he's the oldest of the bunch. But he's the one nobody wants to deal with, and I'm guessing it's because of the contract. So that is what I would say. Young is not a big name. Okay, so that's why I think Young would fit. Young would fit right what we're trying to do because he's not a big name. He's not a big name. He's a guy that, okay, so I said this last week as to why I think Chase Young would be the guy. And what I was talking about before we got rudely interrupted at my horrible sound is that Ron, from what Tucker was saying, when they got to Washington, they were talking about how you could move Chase Young for more than likely a second or a third. Now, for me, I would give them the TJ Hawkinson third round pick. That's what I would do. I would give the TJ Hawkinson third round pick to the Washington Commanders. That's this year's draft coming up for Chase Young. That's what I would do. And if he signed a contract, before the trade, I'll give him an extra pick. I'll give him 2 picks. I'll give him, I'll give him a third and maybe a conditional third or a 4th round pick, somewhere around there. Okay, Tank says, I think we go edge because I feel like our interior run stuffers are keeping things locked down. Young or Sweat over Hunter since we don't really play the linebacker standing up, the stand-up linebackers. And what I've been noticing watching Chase is he does a lot of both. Like you'll see him standing up and you'll see him in the dirt as well. And that's kind of what got me off Brian Burns is Brian Burns is not in the dirt a lot. And I think we want an in the dirt edge rusher. I know we've fleeced the Vikings for draft capital in the past, but does it concern you that the Vikings may ask for more from us for Hunter because it's in the division? It does not, because I think we say no. And nothing they do regarding Hunter concerns me. They got their hands full over there. They got to worry about Justin Jefferson. Plus, you have, okay, so think about this. If you let, first of all, Danielle don't seem like the guy that plays on the franchise tag. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Second, the best case scenario that you're going to get if you let Danielle walk away is a 3rd round compensatory pick. If you trade him, you might be able to get a first. I don't think they're getting a first for a 9-year rental. A 9-game rental. If he signs a contract, then maybe. That's crazy. Matthew Stafford got a first, but crazy. So they have a choice to make. Do they A, let him walk and get a comp pick in next or 2 years draft? Do they B, franchise tag him and hold him hostage for a year? Or do they C, extend him? I don't know. Or re-sign him in free agency. Wynn says Young is the best fit for the team. Just my opinion, but I think it's still early to spend money, a big name. Okay. So I'm assuming you're saying it's too early to spend money. And that's where I'll disagree with you. Is Brad Holmes is going to do obviously what's best for the team, right? But he's also going to do it in a way that spreads the money out. That the money is not going to cripple the team. And that's why if Danielle Hunter is going to try to cripple us, we're not going his way. If Brian Burns is going to try to cripple us, we're not going his way. I still believe in my heart that when the time is right, and you might be onto something for Brad Holmes, when the time is right, that we will not throw the bag like Nick Bosa type, but we'll pay the person that needs to be paid. And the reason I say that is that I disagree with you about this not being the year. We're still a year away. If you look at Brad Holmes and his reaction from press conference, like after the game, slapping fans' hands, and dude looked like he just took some pre-workout. That tells me that this dude is ready to win. And I keep going back to the press conference, his last one, saying we're trying to compete. So let me know you got a choice between Danielle Hunter, Chase Young, and Montez Sweat. For me, I think the logical target based on production, future, and funds is Chase Young. But let me know your thoughts down below. Man, oh man. Nothing like horrendous sound. No, Mr. Poole, bro. Got on at 1:45. My audio was a catastrophe. So I had to stop the stream, fix the audio, and start over. So we've been on for 10 minutes. We got 20 more minutes to go. But it is a couple things that I wanted to talk about. So all this stuff about Jared Goff, all that stuff, I'm so mad because I can't use any of it. There's nothing worse than peaking audio. It is the absolute worst. And it's amazing how this mic can go from one of the best sounding mics on the market to horrendous. And I didn't know that until, am I peaking? Toast. Okay, nope, I'm good. Toast. I should be good. We got to pay a lot of free agents next year. Feel like he's worried about that a bit more. Okay, so Aaron, peaking audio is when it sounds like garbage. Sounds like it's hard. It sounds too loud. That's the best way to put it. It sounds like it's too loud. You're like, ooh, he too loud. Like that's the entire 30 minutes was useless. So I had to throw it out. What's up, Zone? So, okay, listen. You see the guy, don't harass him because he cool as ever. But in the zone, he is a Minnesota Vikings fan. And sometimes I go on his channel after the Vikings on Sunday night. And we're talking about Danielle Hunter. This guy here is ready to blow it up to get, his franchise quarterback and rebuild the team the right way. So he probably in here giving me a hard time. Yeah, it's good now, Braylon, but it wasn't at first. What up, Grid? I had tried to get into the stream earlier, but it said it was private. Yes, because I wind up deleting it, or I'm going to delete it because the audio was bad. So we got a couple more things that I want to talk about, and I think this one's going to be cool. So let me bring this up, and I need to move this over to the side because I want you to see this. Okay, where is this at? Why is this here? This needs to go over here. I'm telling you, man, I have some software that might be able to be controlled remotely, and I might wind up having a guy like a producer control it remotely. I don't know if I can. I think I can. I'm gonna have to look into that. What's up, Hunt? What's up, bro? You've been gone for a minute, brother. What's up, bro? Lions too good for you, my man? Oh man. Okay. All right, can I move this? Jeez. See. Okay, I'm trying to move stuff out of the way. You know what? We're going to close that out because it's getting on my nerve. All right, let me open this back up. I need to move this out the way because it's in the way. I'll put this over here. And there is something that I've been wanting to talk about for a few days. And it is this right here. All right. Now, I shouldn't get in trouble for this, but hopefully I don't. Okay, where we at here? All right. And if you are just now joining us, which you probably are, the ticker at the bottom of the screen, we have sold 30 tickets for the watch party this Sunday. We've got about 10 more left as of 9 o'clock this morning. So hopefully we've sold some. The link is not in this description. So you would have to go to Lions Syndicate and click the description. I know it's an extra step, but I've been too lazy to put it. But you can get 10% off using the code Detroit Lions at checkout to get 10% off your order. Okay. All right, let me see what everybody's saying. If we win without sacks, it's because we focus on stopping. Hold on, Dave. Let me pop that out so I can read that. All right, let me see. Dave says, if we win without sacks because we focus on stopping the run and containing the quarterback, why say D-line is lacking? Our D-backs are an upgrade more than our line. Okay. All right, Dave. I like that question, but let me retort to that. This is why, okay? And we're going to see this, and y'all going to see it too, okay? This is why. Why do I think that the Detroit Lions need to upgrade their D-line? Okay. Who is in our secondary right now? Braylon, who is in our secondary right now? At this moment, right now, currently, we've got Jerry Jacobs and Cam Sutton. Jerry Jacobs, he can tackle very well. That's about all he can do well, okay? We are expecting to get Brian Branch back, Kirby Joseph playing well when he came back, Tracy Walker playing outstanding. Secondary, definitely an upgrade from last year. But what does the defensive line do? The defensive line makes an average secondary better. Duck, duck, goose, right? You are throwing ducks if you are constantly pressured. Now, we are getting pressures, but we're not getting home. Why do I want us to get home? Why do I think that matters? if we don't touch the quarterback, we get close, but we don't touch him. We don't make them alter in any way. So my thing is when we start going up against stiffer competition with mobile quarterbacks, competition like Patrick Mahomes, if you look at that, we never once got to him to record a sack. We still won the game. But my thing is when we face if we are going to compete with the Miami Dolphins or those guys, if you look and when we played Buffalo, how many times did we sack Josh Allen? He got sacked, 2 or 3 times, right? We have to get home eventually. And here's another reason too. We're winning games, yes. But I want more. I want more because when it really matters, when it's time for one and done, and that's why I think that we're going to be buyers at the trade deadline, because when we get to these single game elimination playoffs, are we going to be able to compete and make a difference that game? We can get there. That's fine. We might be able to, a great test will be this weekend, probably against the most mobile quarterback that we faced. And ironically, it's going to be a solid week before the trade deadline. So Lamar Jackson, to me, that's going to tell us a lot about this defensive line. But, and another thing too, if you look at I was watching some highlights from the game, and they had 2 people on Hutch. He was exhausted. He did his little spin move and was like jogging, and you don't ever see Hutch jog, but this particular play, he was jogging because he was tired. He was tired. He's always hustling to the play. They had 2 people on him probably for most of the game, and one of them was probably Tristan Wirfs, right? So I feel like we have to get home eventually, and that is why I've always been like this. Edge rusher, edge rusher, edge rusher. If you look at the sacks for last year, the leaders of the sacks were the Philadelphia Eagles, and they were in the Super Bowl, right? So we had 38. They had almost twice as many. That's why we need to get home. That's why I'm so big. Yes, pressures are not enough. We need to get home. Okay, hold on. Zoe, let me hear what you said, bro. You said something. Okay, Zoe says, okay, we got to have a spy on Jackson this week. Everything is cool. What's up, Derwin? I love that too, Dave. I feel like we need cornerback depth because Jerry goes down or Sutton goes down. Oh, no, Gibbs. We definitely need cornerback. That's for sure. And there's one that came available. I think he's a nickel corner, though. We definitely need some cornerback. But I'm not talking about Surtain. I'm talking about like a mid-tier guy, like a Jerry Jacobs. I mean, and we have Gilmore on a practice squad. We ain't even trying to. So obviously, and I'm with you. We need depth for sure. Okay, Zoe, we just talked about Danielle Hunter, and I gave my reasons as to why I don't think that we're going to get him. I think he's going to outprice himself. I think you guys are going to ask too much. I would love Danielle Hunter minus whatever drama he might bring with the money, but I would love Danielle Hunter on this team because Danielle Hunter can wreck a game. And him and Aiden, my choice of who I think they're going to target, what fits the best based on future compensation, and is Chase Young. That's who I think. At the trade deadline, if it's not a D-line or CB, I don't want him. I'm cool with that as well. Dang, there was 2 more segments I wanted. How much time we have? How much time do we have? Okay. All right, so there's 2 segments I want to do. This one I wanted to talk about yesterday, but we brought back Mohamed Ibrahim to the practice squad. But I had a question that I wanted to put before you and see what you guys had to say. We talked about this to some extent, but I want the rest of it. I want to hear what you guys got to say. So there was a report that Leonard Fournette was going to the Bills and that he would likely sign there. The Bills were expecting to cut, or for Ty Montgomery, former Detroit Lion, to get removed from the practice squad and elevated to somebody else's team. So they were going to bring in Leonard Fournette in order to fill that void, I guess. So my question is, would you mind if the Detroit Lions went after playoff Lenny? I mean, listen, we have one running back as far as depth is concerned, and that's with David Montgomery being out. When he comes back, probably after the bye week, it'll be him, Jameer Craig, and then Mohamed's and Devine Ozigbo are going to get pushed to the practice squad. So would you be opposed to Leonard Fournette coming in and playing for the Detroit Lions? Gilmore isn't on the practice squad. Our secondary depth is playing. Derwin says, yes, Leonard is washed. Absolutely not. Get Jamal back. Jamal is on another team. Signed a monster deal with him. No, I don't want a problem with that. We need a bruiser. Hold on. We need a bruiser. Derwin says make a poll. That's why I need a producer, bro. I need a producer. That's a good question. Okay. Start a poll. Would you want Fournette? That's what I'll do. Would you want playoff? I'll just put Lenny. Lenny F. That's it. And then we'll at the end of the segment. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of no's. Marcus says no. Wynn says yes. What about Max Crosby? Okay, I've been saying that all year, says Nick. Saying what, bro? Saying what? Bring him in. The O-line can carry him. Joey says no. Okay, so right now we've got 53% yes and 47% no. Really? Well, if you're saying no or yes in the comment section, vote. My philosophy is that our depth, and I go back, okay, he's not Adrian Peterson, but y'all remember Adrian Peterson came in and was just running over everybody, and that's ironically one of his last good years. He outperformed Kerryon Johnson. He actually took the job from Kerryon Johnson. I'm not saying he's going to do that with David Montgomery, but I'm saying if you look right now, we are one injury away from being depleted again at running back. David Montgomery, in my opinion, will not return until after the bye week. That's best case. And when he does come back, how effective will he be? I went and when I watched it again, I was like, man, dude brought all his weight on him. And then David hits the ball and he could be out. So my thing, I'm not opposed to anybody that's going to add value or depth to our team. It bucks at a QB. Okay. Carl says no. Derwin says yeah. Nick says sign Fournette. Do we need that red zone? We need a red zone bruiser. That's, and the thing is, I like David Montgomery, and it's kind of ironic that the running backs that we got and we replaced Swift and Williams with, I want to say, as of this moment, they've missed more games than both Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift combined already. David has missed one. Jameer is okay, so we're not there yet, but we will be. By the time David Montgomery comes back, we will have those two running backs will have missed more time than Swift and Williams combined for last year. Okay, no, Jamal went on IR already. That's true. I meant last year. Okay, so would you want Lenny F? 59% say no out of 27 votes and 41% say yes. My thing is simply depth. You can never have too many guys. We don't need necessarily a game changer at running back because we have those. If they can, we're waiting on Jahmyr Gibbs to be that guy. And we've seen what David Montgomery can do, but we're also, until yesterday, bringing in Muhammad, we had nothing on our practice squad. So I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed to it. They call him playoff Lenny for a reason. Maybe we sign him and, he's going to play this year on somebody's team. It may or may not be ours. Monty will score 3 TDs every week when he comes back. That's if he can stay healthy. I mean, we're at that point, y'all. We're at that point. Williams proved last year we didn't need a bruiser. Our O-line is great. Fournette had 668 yards, rushing 75 catches for 250 yards. He fits. I mean, he's depth. He's depth. I don't know how you can complain. Anybody can complain. We need an inexpensive bruiser at RB. Okay, so if y'all had to pick one, then who would you pick? A realistic option. Who would you pick? Who would you pick? All right. And this is the last segment of the show. Thank you guys for coming back into the show and dealing with the horrible sound. I'm going to check my sound, but if it ever is bad, please, please, please let me know. If it changes and my computer spikes or the audio sounds terrible, tell me immediately because I cannot. If you have bad sound, nobody's going to listen. Literally, a podcast is nothing but sound. And if that's bad, you have ruined the entire show. So that's on me. I should have been paying attention and I wasn't. All right. So this last segment, I think y'all going to like it. Let me make sure we're ready. All right. So everybody knows that I have been I'm not a Jameson Williams hater. I'm a guy who wants to see the 12th overall pick in 2022 succeed. I want him to live up to that. And I'm sorry, but I'm a huge believer in you can only be a bust in the first round. because you were drafted in the first round because you were better than 32, or you were one of the best 32 players in your draft class that year. You were better than 250 plus people. You have to be held accountable. You have to have some responsibility. And you have to, in my opinion, now here it is. You have Lamar Jackson, the last pick in the first round. You've got those guys. But then you got a Clyde Edwards-Helaire or somebody like that. I think he was taken in the first round, right? But you got one of those guys that they underperform. Then you have a Deebo Samuel, a DK Metcalf. You got a Amon-Ra St. Brown in the fourth round. Lights out. He about to get paid next year. Believe that. So if you can't be outworked, you can't be outperformed by somebody drafted later than you. That's my belief. So I've been very tough on him. Very tough. I want him to succeed. He is a valuable asset. If we are going to win games, if we're going to compete with the Miami Dolphins, the Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs, when it matters. In the playoffs, the Super Bowl, we won't see none of them teams to the Super Bowl. That's who we need to worry about. The NFC, we got the Niners. If we're going to spread that defense out, if we're going to make them guys work, we're going to need Jameson Williams to ball. That's just the bottom line. And he did that on Sunday. I was watching the throw from Jared Goff. It was horrendous. I thought Jared Goff got hit. I thought maybe it got tipped. It was probably one of the worst throws of Jared Goff time as a Lion. Not like a incorrect decision. It was a miserable throw. Okay, wobbly the entire way. And for Jameson Williams to catch that pass was insane. It really was. And it showed you the value of what he can bring to the team. And it was great to see. But this right here, I want to bring this in. And unfortunately, guys, I can't do much about it. I can't make it bigger. I can't do anything like that. But this here was, I want y'all to listen. I'm going to put on my headphones because I need to hear this. I'm going to play this a couple times. And I just want you to go with me to Tampa Bay. Go with me. Don't forget, I've been to a road game. And I would recommend, if you've been to a Detroit Lions game at Ford Field, that's fine. Save your money. Go to a road game. Go to one. Just one. And I guarantee you, you will love it. You will love it. It's something I can't explain. It's something about being in enemy territory. But I'm going to let this play a couple times. And this is coming from the Detroit Lions Instagram. And this is a field view of Jameson Williams, that entire play. Without further ado, man, let's check it out. All right, now what I want you to hear, just stop what you're doing, listen to this crowd. It literally gave me goosebumps every time I hear the crowd when he catches the ball and hits the ground. It is a giant roar. Don't forget, we're on the road. And Dan Campbell said the other day, it's like a home game. But listen to the roar of this crowd when he catches this pass. I mean, it's straight goosebumps, bro. Like nothing but goosebumps. Unbelievable. And this thing was a duck the entire way. I can't really show that. It's from the side. But this thing is a duck the entire way. Jameson Williams able to adjust and get that thing off. I'm telling you, that's what we want to see. The throw was horrendous. It was terrible. If you watch it from the side, because they have another view as well. I want to see if it's on, it might be on their Instagram. That was from the Detroit Lions Instagram. All right, let me see. No, you can't see it here because they cut it off. But it was a horrible pass. It's amazing. If the defensive back turns around, that's an interception. It would have been an interception, and we wouldn't be having this conversation. But Jameson Williams had beat him so bad that he was too busy trying to catch up. And somebody brought out something really good as well. Let me see if I want to bring it back in. And I was going to do this for a play breakdown, but I don't know if we're going to be able to see it here. But let me bring this back in because somebody brought in a really good. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's not how we got to transition the right way. Okay, that's how we got to do that. But I don't know if we're going to be able to see it from this angle, but they talked about how Jameson Williams didn't show what, you know how defensive backs will play. They'll try to play the ball, but if they're not looking at the ball, they'll play the player. And how Jameson Williams reacted at the last minute. So he didn't give this guy here any idea of what he was doing. So fantastic. But you know what? Let's listen to it one more time. I can't. We got to hear it one more time, man. One more time. It was fantastic. Bro, that's a road game. That is a road game, I'm telling you. And now we're going deep. We're taking over stadiums. It probably, man. And Tampa is like the one game I didn't want to go to because of heat. I don't do heat or cold like humidity. It's the one game I didn't want to go to, but I wish I would have gone. So, but anyway, Jameson Williams, man, that's what we want to see. That's what we've been waiting on. And I think that we're going to see more, but we've had to wait long enough. I think that went a long way for his confidence. He hears what the fans say. He might act like he don't care. Maybe he doesn't, but everybody cares a little bit. And sometimes it can start to get to you, but that's what we want to see. So Jameson Williams, man, for us to win, I truly believe that he's got to be a factor. Crazy, right? What's up, Jay Mommy? What's going on? All right. So that is going to be the show today, ladies and gentlemen. Let me read your comments real quick before we wrap it up. The poll for Leonard Fournette ended. We had 39 votes and 44% said yes and 56% said no. Okay, the fact I'm watching you in Woodward Sports is on 100. How you watching us? You mean at the same time, bro? It sounds just like a home game. The Lions don't need no NFL plants like the Chargers. Lions fans. Okay, so y'all think that lady's a plant? I don't know. I mean, if she is a plant, then Pat McAfee came to her defense. It really did. Grid Dallas road trip. Patty, okay, there's no way I'm driving to Dallas. There's no way. It's going to be December 30th, so there's extra no way. And you're talking about 1,700 miles, 1,400 miles, something like that. It would take me almost a day or 15, 16 hours. So, yeah, if I went. My brother was there roaring and chanting, "Let's go Lions." That's fantastic, man. That's fantastic. Sherman and Irvin was giving praise to J-Mo on the catch. I did see that as well. I feel like we unleashed this week, J-Mo this week. I feel like the Ravens will focus on Amon-Ra and legacy game. Okay, so check this out. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to talk about that game on Friday. I got my thoughts on on the Baltimore Ravens and how to beat them. I really have my thoughts on that. So we'll talk about that Friday. But with that being said, thank you guys again for coming in the stream for the second time. Sorry about the audio. We should be on time on Friday. Hopefully, if I don't get a job that takes me over. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But thank you guys. I will see you on Friday. Don't forget, Who Knows Watch Party, man. Go Lions.
Hello, good morning. Horns is blowing, and I'm pissing off the neighbors. Whether home grown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the Motor City, nothing is as pretty as the hustle.
I don't want to see if this works. The music should be lower. Hopefully it is.
The streets.
You can catch us at Uno's this Sunday, the 22nd of October. Lions versus Ravens.
Next time when they ask you where you from,
I got somebody working on an outro for me as well.
say Detroit City when we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City when we get back on our feet. Yeah.
Use promo code Detroit Lions for 10% off. Have a great Wednesday and Thursday. I will see you guys Friday. Take care of yourself and each other, and as always, go Lions.